I'm Sharyl Attkisson in Arizona, a center point in President Trump's promised revival of U.S. manufacturing. I'm Sharyl Attkisson in El Salvador, where the prisons are not just a place the U.S. sent illegal immigrants. This week, we wrap up season 11 of Full Measure, the start of our second decade, staying ahead of the most important stories of our time. So is it accurate to say you think the combat operations are over and done? But there
No, I didn't say that. I said they are defeated.
From the White House to rural America, where grassroots movements show the power of the people.
This is the TVA's gate that enters the property. I started just really showing up with a selfie stick and an iPhone. I became an investigative journalist, kind of like what you do.
We've covered the growing momentum to make America healthy again.
And we are going to end the 50-year war on natural saturated fat. We're going to talk about ultra-processed foods in that report.
And even gone where few have gone before. I'm Sharyl Attkisson, pushing the boundaries of human life and seeking immortality. A look back at Full Measure's blockbuster Season 11 is ahead. Welcome to a special edition of Full Measure, where we wrap up a full season of incredible stories from the U.S. and around the world. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. We begin with what, for me, has to be among the most eye-opening foreign trips we've taken among many on Full Measure. For context, it was before we learned that in President Trump's first year returning to office, U.S. crime rates were plummeting. Homicides down 20%, the largest one-year drop on record, and the national homicide rate fell last year to its lowest since at least 1900. But in late summer of 2025, we traveled to the small Central American nation of El Salvador to check out their own recipe for a remarkable transformation from the most dangerous country on the planet to the safest in the Western Hemisphere. In 2019, Salvadorans took the first step to reclaim their country. They elected 37-year-old Nayib Bukele as president. The president asked Rene Murrow to head up the military as defense minister and tasked him with something that had never been done before. I noticed these military vehicles and a lot of military out today.
Yeah.
Soldiers deployed alongside police to round up tens of thousands of alleged gang members and other criminals. The difference has led to remarkable success. Armed military patrols continue today, allowing us on this day to stroll safely in a neighborhood once riddled by violence. The numbers punctuate the dramatic shift. In 2015, El Salvador recorded 6,656 homicides, earning the title Murder Capital of the World. But after the mass arrests, the numbers plummeted. 7 months into this year, there had been about 40 murders. The homicide rate dropped from more than 106 per 100,000 people to below 1 per 100,000 projected for 2025. That success has a lot of countries taking a look at El Salvador's tough-on-crime strategy, which, as we learned, ended up overloading their prisons. So they've undergone a fascinating reformation, too. In 2021, President Bukele initiated a sweeping crackdown on gangs and crime. In a matter of weeks, 87,000 people were arrested. La Esperanza's prison population quickly surged from 6,000 to nearly 30,000. Now the inmates are enrolled in 24/7 around-the-clock shifts of training and labor that boost the bottom line. The government claims over 48,000 prisoners are currently working in the prison system's zero leisure plan, reducing their sentences through work and training while making the prisons nearly self-sufficient. They gain skills to repair federal buildings, fix police cars, and build hospitals and stadiums. They're even growing their own food in the field. Back here in the U.S., we visited Tennessee to report on a true-life Grapes of Wrath playing out. The Tennessee Valley Authority, a government power company, created an uproar with plans to move out lifelong landowners to build a giant new power plant. Many argued it could be built elsewhere without displacing anybody. What nobody expected initially was that country music star John Rich would get involved.
So as I began to interview neighbors, I came here to Nanette's house, I went to George Wade's house, I started just really showing up with a selfie stick and an iPhone. I became an investigative journalist, kind of like what you do. Hey folks, John Rich here. I'm sitting in
John Rich has a personal connection to Cheatham County, including family who still live here. He says he was moved by this video taken last year. It shows a TVA troop of unmarked trucks, surveyors, and armed security rolling in. Property owners didn't mince words.
For the record, I don't want you here. Just saying that. I want everybody to know I don't want you here. This project hasn't been approved. There's no need for all this.
Well,
you guys are going around
anything
the due
you have
process.
to say needs to be directed through your attorney. Anything outside of what, a cordial us telling you what we are doing needs to be directed through your attorney, through our Office of General Counsel.
That day, the TVA parked their trucks on the farm of Sue Nicholson. She owns about 200 acres off Sweet Home Road. Neighbors recorded the encounter and explained to Nicholson why the TVA was there.
And they're here today to take some measurements of your property to put up some high voltage transmission lines.
You think you own something, you don't own nothing.
When you saw that video, what did you think the first time you saw it?
I said, that is the most egregious, un-American, communistic tactic I've ever seen in my life. Okay, that's it. Gloves off. I don't know what we're going to do, but fists up, here we come. And that's when the fight started. And so I wrote a song called The Devil and the TVA, because that's how they operate.
He don't care what you have to say, he's just gonna do it anyway. He'll smile and grin and then take your farm away. He'll tear it all to hell right in your face. Now the devil ain't got nothing on the TVA.
After John Rich got involved and President Trump intervened, the TVA announced plans to look elsewhere for a site for the power plant.